If you haven't met us, our name is Raharjo-Gunawan, and we're a yoga teacher. A little bit out of practice, to be honest, but it's a very important part of our life, and today we felt the inspiration to share a really potent practice with y'all. It's essentially a form of pranayama, but it's specifically a form of pranayama that's intended to be cleansing for the internal organs, particularly the digestive system. But as with all things human related and really universe related, all things are interconnected. So it's definitely primarily for the abdominal region, but as you'll experience with the movements that we're doing, really your whole system is going to get a workout. And honestly, rather than going into the details of the science or whatever, just try the practice and see how it feels. I'll probably include in the notes here that this is quite an advanced practice, so go gently. And let's get into it. Actually, before I take my top off, I'm just going to start with 3 ohms. Here's an invocation that I picked up from one of my favorite teachers, Rod Stryker. That's obviously not his, it's an ancient yogic invocation. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamrita. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamrita. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamrita. Okay. So to be honest, I don't even remember how many stages there are to this practice, but I'm just going to do it, because as I do it, I remember. Cool, so top comes off, so you can see what's going on. I'm not going to remember the proper Sanskrit names for all these things, but, they exist and you can look them up. Google's a thing, or Ecosia is a thing. That's the search engine that we prefer, because apparently they plant trees or something. Anyway. Step 1 is to do some Uddiyana bandhas, and basically those are abdomen sucking in moves. And if you haven't done them before, here's how it works. Exhale all your air. Tongue out's good, cleansing apparently more so. And then with all your breath out, suck in your abdominal wall. And we're going to do this 3 times. 3 to 7 times, depends how keen you are. Go at your own flow. I'm just going to do it 3 times. So you just basically hold in for as long as you can, and then when you feel the need to breathe, you just let go and breathe. Take a deep breath in, release once, and then breathe back in and out again, and just copy me. So One thing you'll notice is that keeping your chin tucked in will make it easier because you might get some strain in your throat, so encouraging that. You can go straight back into it, or you can take a breath to reset. Gonna do one more. Should breathe out all that air, stale, dead air. One more thing I want to show you with this practice is you can do it with a rounded back or a straight back, and they have slightly different strains or pulls on the internal organs, like so. So rounded back to start with. Neither is better or worse, they just pull on different parts of the organ system, and every time you do it you might want a different thing. So that's part one to this breathing practice. Part two is really similar, it's just that instead of holding it in, you're gonna flap. So you're gonna, as you exhale all your air, suck in and then release the abdominal muscles, suck in again, and then it creates this kind of massaging experience for your internal organs. So here we go. Yeah. Same deal, once you feel like you can't hold your breath anymore, just take a deep breath in. And I'm just going to go straight back into the next cycle, but feel free to take a reset breath if you want. I'm just going to do this 3 times. Again, you can do it pretty much as you want, but don't go too hard, too fast, especially if you're just trying this for the first time. Sometimes it can be nice to hold it. I like holding my breath in on the top of the inhale. Just pause and see kind of like what's happening with this breath practice, what's happening in my internal organs. Is like I hold my breath in, and then you can really, I find I can really feel my heartbeat, like the pulse of blood in my body. And again, hold in for as long as you want, just experience the kind of intensity of this practice, and then one more round for me. I could hold my breath in for a lot longer, and if I'm doing on my practice on my own, I usually do. Also, if you're an experienced yogi, then you'll know that when you're doing any holds, it's often a good idea to do your root lock, so just contracting your anus and pretending like you're trying to hold in a P. Helps to stabilize the core muscles and all that. And also, if you are doing the hold on the in-breath again, tucking that chin in and engaging the Jalandhara Bandha, the throat lock, is a good idea too, to keep that energy contained where you want it. This practice is definitely for this region here between your neck and your anus. So holding your root lock and your throat lock, boom, and actually a mild Uddiyana Bandha too, just like a slight little pulling in of the belly button, helps just contain all the energy here, and that's where you want things to be churning. Cool. Alright, what's next? If that was intense, it's about to get a little bit more intense, so here we go. I feel like I've heard different things from different teachers, but I'm just going to call this Breath of Fire. We're going to do 3 rounds of different types. So the first type is going to be a twist, where we're exhaling to one side, inhaling to one side, like that. Okay, and the next one, actually that's going to be the second one. The first one's going to be shoulder pumps, so we're going to inhale on the up, exhale on the down. So that's the first type, and then the second type is going to be the twisting. And then the last type we're going to do is arms up, popped in the air, thumbs out, just because it's cool. Actually, that's because my teacher, Rod Stryker, told us to do it. It feels good, why not? And then we're just doing the same thing, inhaling, but with no muscular kind of pumping action. It's just staying still. And we're going to do this kind of for as long as you feel like. I don't even have a watch on me right now, so I'm just going to kind of wing it. But yeah, do it for as long as you like. And then once you're done, we're going to exhale all the air and then breathe in and hold for as long as we can, or as long as you feel like. And this is, on that in-breath, it's where you really want to lock in that throat, contract that anus, not too hard. You're not trying to hold into something dangerous. You're just, you're activating your anus so that you can keep the energy contained. And with this practice, you're definitely going to start to feel some sensation, some heat in your belly. Okay, here we go. Holding throws up. Feel free to hold your breath longer. I'm just expediting this a little bit so the video is not too long. And I'm going to go straight into round 2. You can do all this standing up, by the way. I'm just sitting because it's easier to record this way. Alright. Hands, kind of fingertips on the shoulders, and we're going to really twist from our abdomen this time. So. Ew, I don't know about you, but it's definitely around this time that it starts to get pretty intense. Cleansing! Okay, last round of breath of fire. This time, arms pump up like a rock star. Yeah. And begin. I don't know if you can see that, but I think it's really cool that I can see my heartbeat in my body, like, it's really satisfying. Okay, so that's breath of fire. And then there's one more thing, which is kind of like breath of fire again. I don't know what teachers call it, but that version we just did is when you're exhaling and inhaling forcefully, like deliberately engaging with the exhaling and inhaling process. This next one we do is just going to be exhaling and letting the inhale happen naturally. So, yeah, position your hands however you want. We're going to do 3 rounds of this, and let's call it, I mean, I want to do 100. I'm not sure how long this video is going to go for, but let's just, oh god, it's already been 18 minutes. Let's just do 50. Let's do 3 rounds of 50. Okay. Breathing in about 3/4 and beginning. It's just the same thing, but you know, we're not inhaling actively, so letting that happen naturally. And you can do this out of your nose or out of your mouth. Inhaling. Holding for as long as you want. I'm just going to expedite, exhaling into another round. Again, hold as long as you want. One more. Nice. And honestly, if you've done this practice, probably by this point you're going to be feeling pretty elevated, kind of like energy is going to be pulsing through you. And so I would highly recommend just pausing for at least 5 minutes in just sitting meditation or lying meditation, just to let your body adjust to the energy that you've just unleashed. You might notice your belly starting to kind of do some things. Honestly, I had one guy do this practice with me once, and he was not an experienced yogi, so he was quite deeply affected. And he was a climber, and that day he just couldn't climb. He was like quite an avid climber, and just for some reason couldn't climb that day because there was just like too much this practice activated in his system. So I must have put in the label for this video that this is an advanced practice. I think I said it earlier too, but yeah, if this activated a lot for you, then take it easy. Maybe send me a message. I'm happy to chat about things. Yeah, I'll just finish with an invocation to thank my gurus, if I can remember it properly. Here we go. Om Agyantimirandasya Ginanjanan Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitamyena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Om Agyantimirandasya Ginanjanan Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitamyena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Om Agyantimirandasya Ginanjanan Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitamyena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. I offer my gratitude to my teachers and the teachers of my teachers for offering me safe refuge. With the light of their teachings, may I forever be protected. Something like that. It's been a while since I did my training. I've kind of forgotten the exact translation, but the vibrational quality of gratitude is there. Thank you very much. Om Shanti.